Alright guys, Gen Z Rasher here, and today we got a portfolio update video. It's been a minute, but I've been working really hard at work. Obviously, work takes priority because I get paid a decent amount of money, which I'm able to invest with, because not a lot of people at 22 years old have this much invested in the stock market, right? And we're down a bunch also, so factor in being down a bunch and we're still above $100,000. That has to say something about my income. I don't post videos frequently, but if you want to be up to date with what I'm doing, then hopefully you guys check out my Discord. The link will be in the description. I ask these people a lot of questions. They ask me questions. We bounce ideas off of each other. It's a very helpful community. This is also where I'm learning options from, pretty much the wheel strategy. You know, it's been 2 weeks for you guys from the last time I uploaded a video, but it's been a long 2 weeks for me between working and doing options, guys. Just to, go over it real quick to keep you guys updated. This is my financial journey also. We sold puts, one contract to get used to what I'm doing, then did two contracts, and then we started doing more contracts. And in the matter of what, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, we did 30 trades so far, and we only lost one time, which is my fault, rookie mistake, because I rolled this position, right? And then now the position says I am up 30%, so I take profit on it. The problem is I forgot it was a rolled position, so so in reality I took a loss on it. That's my mistake for not looking at my chart and forgetting that I rolled the position. But yeah, guys, other than that, we are winning with our options currently. The only thing we got open currently is SoFi and MSTZ. You can see that in the portfolio. You got these right here. SoFi isn't doing too good because we're underwater $3 currently. MSTZ is coin flip. Bitcoin either goes up or goes down. So, we are very close to the strike price. So what's next, guys? What am I going to do next? Well, guys, if you're in Yieldmax, you might not like what I'm about to say, is we might be selling out of Yieldmax. A lot of YouTubers and whatnot, you guys probably are seeing less videos from them, or they're saying they're not reinvesting into Yieldmax anymore. We can go to our Discord and the, videos tab. Jonathan posts his video a lot, and as you can see, no more Yieldmax. I watched the video, and if I remember correctly, I don't think he's selling out of it, but he's not reinvesting anymore into it. So a lot of people are changing up what they're doing with these high yield funds, and a lot of people are pulling out of these high yield funds. Do I regret things? I mean, I guess so. Yeah, I guess I regret things, but you know what? It's a learning experience, I guess. It is what it is, right? We essentially have a wild card in our portfolio. Looking at the buying power, margin used $60,000, margin buffer 30%, options collateral $24,000. So what's our wild card? Our wild card is our ymax protection puts right here. We got 62, 69, 70, 71. We got 71 contracts on ymax, which is worth 7,100 shares, and obviously we got 7,700 shares of ymax. Currently the position's at $92,000, which our margin, I don't know how much margin we would wipe out if we sold the position, but obviously our margin's at 60,000, market value 92,000. It should wipe out a good chunk, hopefully at least. But yeah, guys, this is the wild card. These contracts expire in 2 weeks, and this is the time to roll right now, because it's in my belief that theta decay is going to kick in, so these contracts will be worth less and less. Looking at the $14 contracts, I believe this value is going to go down as the theta decay kicks in, right? The idea with these puts are their protection puts. As ymax goes down, these puts go up, and it balances my portfolio out so I don't get margin called. It helps keep equilibrium in the portfolio. The other thing is, because I'm in the money currently, right? ymax is at $11, but these puts are at $14. So I'm in the money currently, so I'm able to sell my ymax shares, 6,200 shares of it, at $14, which is currently higher than what ymax is at, which is $11.90 right now. So that's what I mean. This is the wild card right here, and we had poor timing and bad execution in getting into these funds, but we were at least smart enough to buy protection on our portfolio. And essentially, we either roll the position out or we exercise the contract and sell 7,100 shares of ymax. Hopefully that wipes out a big chunk of the margin used, and I guess we're going to be starting over basically, right? It's not good knowing that you're going to take more losses. It's not good knowing that you probably wiped out 6 months worth of hard work at, literally work grinding for the money. But, do I want to see the portfolio drop more, or do I want to just take losses now and rebuild more smartly? And I'm honestly thinking that I'm going to be selling out of these YMAX positions. Mainly YMAX, the individual funds, Tesla, Nvidia, Misty, we're going to keep those, I believe. But YMAX, because we got the option to sell at 12, 14, and 13, yeah, guys, I think we're going to be selling out of YMAX soon. I'm thinking the plan now is because it pays weekly, we'll get 2 more distributions from the weekly, payments. And then at the end of the 2 weeks, we will be executing these contracts and selling out. It's tough, but it is what it is. I could have done 2 things when I invested into these high yield funds, but I got greedy. Option 1 was invest into JEP-B, JEP-Q, take the lower yield, use those distributions and those core holdings to invest into high yield. But instead, what I did was I bought high yield first, and the idea was, well, in about a year, you will break even. Also, you can use the high yield dividends and you can buy the lower yield dividends, which are more nav stable. So you can do it in reverse like that. Now, the only thing that would backfire is if the market started dropping, which it is. So in this case, I bought the high yield dividend stocks. I'm not able to reinvest because it's dropping so much, and also I'm selling out for a loss. That was bad what we did. We should have bought the safer yielders first, and then we should have bought the higher yielders with the dividends. If we did it like that, we would be in such a better position right now. I mean, guys, look at it. XDTE, even this is down a bunch. Year to date, down 21%. I want to bring something out for the high yield dividend community also, who is in, round hill. A lot of people like this fund because they say there's no NAV erosion. Look at this chart. It's true. No NAV erosion. It goes down, goes back up. It's trading flat. The problem is, it's in my thesis that this is a problem in itself, because if it's not going up in value, so capital appreciation, it's going to trade at a new lower leg, right? So what do I mean by that in simpler terms? We can look at the OG QYLD, right? This is the maximum time frame chart. This is 2014. So what's the problem? It trades flat, and then something happens in the market. It goes down. It trades flat at the new level, and then market crashes. Boom, COVID hits, right? Boom, it goes down. It never recovers back to this share price of $23 at the previous high, right? So it's at $22 now. And then guess what? Trades flat again. It doesn't go any higher. Market takes it down again. 2022 happens. Boom, we go down. And look, we had a 2-year bull run, right, guys? The market was going up and whatnot. But guess what? QYLD never goes back to $23, $22. It's trading at a new leg that's down, right? So that's what I'm saying, what I believe will happen with XDTE. The only viable, stocks that I can see currently is something like, looking at my portfolio. One is indexes, right? If it tracks the NASDAQ or the SPY or, S&P 500. But I really think that the only good income funds are T-SPY, XPay, possibly IRE. We're looking into that currently. Obviously, one share. I'm not too deep into it. But the safer things, QQQI, GPIC, GPIX. I think the biggest one would be SPY-I, if I can actually find SPY-I right here, guys. I feel like this is a very good fund, in my opinion. The yield is 12%, which is obviously better than most funds because it's over 10%, right? Why do I think this is a good fund? It has the ability to go back up in share price. If you look at the maximum time frame, it dropped after inception, but inception was at $50. It dropped down to a low of $44. But look, guys, it was able to climb upwards, right? Boom, it's going up. Right here, it's past the inception price right now. It's able to go up again. Currently, we're at $43. So the market is going to keep going down, but because there's capital appreciation, and we've seen it's able to bounce back from an all-time low to an all-time high. That's why I believe that in the long term, as this fund keeps going down, it has the ability to go up again. You can't say that with XDTE because, it trades flat, so it's not able to go up in share price. So yeah, things like QQQI, SPY, that's the only income funds I'm having in my portfolio. T-SPY, it's an S&P 500 fund, also XPay. So yeah, if it's not index, I don't think it's going to do good long term, personally, and that's what I'm looking at currently. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it for the update video. The next time we make a video, it's either next week, and if it's not next week, it's probably in 2 weeks. And by then, either I am very likely not gonna have my ymax shares anymore. If you made it this far into the video, I want to make another point. If you're on margin too, be very careful, guys, because the market is going down, and it's not going to take much longer of this downward pressure for the institutions and these brokers to raise the margin maintenance on your stocks. Ymax, for example, it's safe at 25%, right? But if your portfolio is 100% yield max on margin, and they they raise the maintenance up to, I don't know, 50%, you might be in a margin call extremely fast, and this is what will get you liquidated. I'm pretty sure I'm safe because I'm probably going to be selling out, but for you guys that made it this far and that's on margin, be very careful with what you do, because the market probably can't take much any longer, and these brokers probably won't leave the maintenance this low much longer. So yeah, if you made it this far, then thanks for watching. Hopefully you guys check out the Discord.